Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Brahma Miristriparan Takare Banushashi Bhumi Suto Buddhasha Gurusha Shukra Shani Rahu Keteva Santikara Santikara Bhavantu. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of KozmicKev100 Astrology. And so today, for Friday the 24th all the way through the 30th of June, this is last week of June forecast. So looking at the sky today, we would find the moon waning in the in a lunar mansion in the constellation of Aries, if you're looking out in the sky for the actual constellation. And the part of Aries that the moon is in is a lunar mansion known as Barani. So Barani symbol is the yoni, or the female reproductive organ. And the ruling deity is Yama, who is also known as the god of death. And this particular lunar mansion, or Nakshatra, is all ruled by Venus, which, hey, for a Friday, that's lovely. And so, all things Venus, What can I say about this? Barani is about passion and being passionate about whatever it is you're doing. Now, Yama, by the Vedic story, is a child of the sun and his wife, but he's the younger brother to Saturn, and Saturn's a half-brother because the sun had a relationship with his wife's shadow, or like her best friend, this woman named Shayla. And so at first Saturn wasn't treated well because the sun's actual wife got jealous. Oh my God, she's having a kid. This isn't right. It was a bad situation, and he felt guilty. But eventually, Saturn confronted the sun and said, "Hey, you know what? You need to take care of me and my mom. Doesn't matter if this didn't happen the way things were." And the sun said, "Yes, you're right, Saturn. I got to do this." And then the young man Saturn, confronted the sun's wife and said, "Look, you need to be chill with my mom. You helped create this situation, and we need your husband's support to get by." And she said, "Yes, you're right, my son. You are extended family, and I need to honor you too." Well, Yama, is the sun's wife's kid, and I think there's this element of spoiledness that I've seen in Barani Nakshatra, to be honest with you, because it's like, well, I can just do what I want. Well, all of our actions end up reflecting other people, either helping or hurting other people. And there's a wonderful creative energy in Barani too. So this is really a wonderful moon. But I think one of the lessons here is, since Saturn deals with maturity, Yama is dealing with death, the yoni deals with life. She's the birth canal that we all come out of. So every death is a birth, and every birth is a death. And here in the Barani Nakshatra, we need to be open to maturity as we're in the creative process. The cool thing, though, about immaturity is you really get a lot of freedom to create. Little kids make up songs and things. They don't have any inhibitions. And I think really our inhibitions are what stifle our creativity. So it's okay to be thoughtful too, but in a lot of ways, Barani, this moon today, is teaching us, hey, don't be inhibited. Just let it go. Enjoy yourself. All within the sign of Aries, Mars ruled, Venus ruled Nakshatra. Talk about love and passion. Mars and Venus. That's where it happens. No wonder why there's so much creation and creativity in Barani. All right. So, with that said, though, we're going to go through every single sign of the zodiac, starting with Aries. And you know, what I want to say too for you, that this is mostly a Western astrology show, though, is that, you know, Barani in the Western zodiac would be in the earlier degrees of Taurus. Yeah, so just to clarify that, the early to mid degrees of Taurus, somewhere I think between, I don't know, I'd say like 6-7 degrees Taurus to about whatever 13 more degrees is of that, about 20 degrees Taurus. You know, right in that level. Yeah, that's where you're going to find Barani Nakshatra. Might be not exact, but it's in there. Okay, so greetings Aries, welcome to your horoscope. Moving forward, one of the things is, like, this week Mars goes into sidereal Aries, so as well. So Mars gets charged up this week. You know, you're ready for an adventure. You're ready to go. You're ready to move forward. Sun is in Cancer. It's about the home life. And if you were making moves, a lot of people make moves in summer because really it's the most practical time in the northern hemisphere to make a move. You got lots of daylight, you can get a lot done. You know, we do a lot in the summer. Although, you know, they say we need to, activity is actually in a lot of ways more necessary in fall and winter, you know, in some ways, you know, because, I don't know, keeping warm, getting your spring garden going, all of that. Summer and fall, we kind of chill out a little bit more too. What's your relationship like with your parents? What's your relationship like with your ancestors? You know, fourth house leads us to considering this. Fourth house also rules our memory in a lot of ways. It's a foundational house. So what's your foundation like? You know, how do we create a good foundation? I think we create a good foundation by simplifying things and by spending time at home, spending time alone, starting our days with meditation and prayer, writing things down, often journaling, saying these are my goals, this is what I need to accomplish, so we can just have these little reminders. Oh yeah, I've got to do that. This bill has to be paid. This has been weighing on top of my head. I got to get this going. I've got to address this issue. So that is, those are fourth house things. But loving your parents, loving your ancestors, feeling comfortable in your home, that is of utmost importance. And, you know, honoring your elders in social situations with Saturn in the 11th house. And you know, when I see Mercury and Venus now transiting your third house, you got some good stories to tell. And you know, you have fun times with siblings, friends, and neighbors. Okay. Well, greetings Taurus, welcome to your horoscope. So here we are, starting with the moon in your first house. To this weekend anyhow. You know, I was wanting to discuss that we have a new moon this week earlier, so I'm just going to do this for you. This new moon is in a lunar mansion known as Ardura, and Ardura is the teardrop, and this new moon happens on Tuesday, the 28th. And really, what this moon is about is using our intelligence and being empathetic towards those who've experienced great loss and disasters. There's an element of crying and weeping, but it's also about how the emotions and moisture and fertility make everything come to life again. And really, once there's a disaster, you see Rudra is a guy as a Shiva, and he's known as a storm god. And I guess in the Ardura Nakshatra, he starts clearing things out, you know, and it can be a pretty difficult process. But overall, this new moon has positive energy. Here, at least in Chico on the West Coast, we had Jupiter, Sagittarius, as the rising sign. Jupiter's in the fourth house, our personal happiness. I think good things are going to happen, folks. I am so excited. And for you, Taurus, I mean, as a collective, even if you're not a Taurus sun, you know, collectively, good things are about to happen. And Moon's exalted in Taurus, and Moon is in Taurus today and till about a little bit after 4 tomorrow, Pacific Daylight Time. So all those wonderful things you want to do, they're going to be supported. You're going to feel this support, and making friends, and I know with gas prices high, really learning to love where you are regionally, not having to go so far to have a vacation. I had a really nice talk with my own family, and they have, my daughter and her kids, and it was like, we can do something really local that will be very unstressful, as reduce the stress. Less is more. All right. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. Cancer is a foundational sign that helps us manifest. It manifests through fertility, just like this new moon that's coming in on Tuesday. And this new moon is about your voice. It's about maybe getting dental work done. It's about your family as far as your values. Everything you value is going to be in focus over the next 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks. So really give heed to what you value and what satisfies you. Second house is about, where do we find satisfaction in this, and it's also like adorning your face with a new pair of glasses, or a scarf around your neck. I mean, all of these things can adornments. That's part of the second house transit as well. And moon will be in Gemini Saturday afternoon, Sunday, so part of this weekend, Monday, you're going to feel it. You're going to be feeling good, and your popularity is going to go up a little bit. It'll be noticeable, and with, you've got Venus in the first house now, Mercury in the first house. You're all about ideas and passion right now. Oh, to be a Gemini this week. Well, I am. We are everything, whoever we are. Okay, well, greetings, Cancer. So, Queen of the Zodiac, right now, here she is, the Moon Goddess. Welcome to your week, and if you're having a birthday this week, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. So for Cancers, this new moon is going to be this kind of new start, and I really like that the new moon in Cancer is at the beginning of this year, the beginning of the sign of this month, the beginning of the Cancer month, we'll say, the seasonal tropical zodiac. So this gives us freshness that comes on the 28th, on Tuesday. So you're engaged in all this renewal. So what I would say is, it's powerful. Wherever you are around the world, find out where that new moon is in your local area, and have a little prayer ritual. Do a little ritual about what you want to manifest. I mean, any sign in the zodiac can do that, but since this is your sun sign, and we know that's important, it's at least third most important. Your rising sign's the most important. Your moon's second most important. But then comes your sun sign. And yeah, I know some people in Western astrology like to make the sun sign the most important, and I'm just like, more experienced astrologers will let you know. That's there's about 30 different types of sun signs, as many days of the month as there are. So, there's 30 different types of Cancers. So you want to consider that as we're going through the week. You have a lot of public responsibility right now. Look at how all the grahas, all the planets are all up in this side of the chart, and that's about the public. And so that's what you're facing this week. And then the moon will move down below, and you'll be able to focus on your personal life more after Tuesday. That's a gift. Greetings, Leo, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay. I wish I had like a copyright on that MGM lion that used to always go rah before every MGM picture, for Leo. It'd be really fun. Okay. Now, in your case, this is a time to kind of step back and go, this is the month before your solar return. So this is where you harvest all the deeds you've done throughout this year. And a lot of times they consider this part of the sky, the 12th house with the sun's transiting in for Leos, is a house of loss. It would be for everyone, you know, when it's that sign before your sign. So what I would say is pick your losses. Make donations to the poor. That's how you make good karma for yourself. Number one. Number two is, if you have an opportunity to go on a spiritual retreat, a yoga retreat, or just being out in the wilderness, nature, do that. That is the best thing you can do. I would not initiate a lot of new things right now. This, you know, it's going to bring about false starts. It's likely to. Not completely. I mean, everyone's chart's different. In some cases, that may not be affecting you, you know, depending on what your rising sign is. And that's where all these different signs of the zodiac fall in your horoscope. So if you don't know the rising signs, what takes place on the eastern horizon at the moment you were born, that's where your action is. That's where the action is. And the action for now is to be more meditative, to have alone time, to allow yourself to nestle by yourself. I have former partner of mine is a 12th house Lagnisha. That means whatever's ruling your rising sign, you know, the planet. In her case, it was the sun. It's in the 12th house. So she just loves to she loved holding up during the lockdown, during the pandemic or whatever. Just like it. I'm like, oh. But you know what? That's an appropriate response, and she did very well with that. And so I just use that as an illustration for the next, you know, 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks. This is what would be a good idea, and this new moon could indicate, you know, paying off bills, paying off debts, and initiating a spiritual discipline like meditation and prayer every morning, maybe even every evening if you do it already every morning. All right. Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, okay, for Virgo, I got good news for you. I mean, basically, Cancer rules your 11th house. 11th house can give you rewards. It can give you wealth. It can give you people in your life. It creates parties. Actually, I love throwing parties. I'm a Virgo rising in Western. I love throwing parties during Cancer time like no other time. It's just fun. I even one time just had a little studio, but it was near a creek where there was a swimming hole. And we had a little backyard area, and I just had one of the best little parties out of my studio, and then going swimming with all my friends later on at night. It was just like the coolest experience, and so I would encourage that kind of activity for you. Now, you know, what's Mercury doing? Well, Mercury's up in your midheaven, 10th house, so you can make some career gains this week, or what you do, what your talents and skills are. Make sure you bring those to the forefront. You know, that people need to see your talents and skills and your ability. And your relationship with Cancer being in the 11th house is honoring elders, more experienced people. If you have older siblings, honoring them, including them in your situation. This is all going to create a spirit of greater wealth and greater understanding and greater ability for you to do what needs to be done. And we don't always understand why things happen. Sometimes things happen that are not pleasant, and you can't believe that you participated in something like that. It's okay. You know, as you forgive yourself, you're able to extend that forgiveness more to others. And I just see a really positive week. Like if you're traveling this weekend, or, you know, doing something special, exotic, or going on a spiritual retreat, it's all going to be pluses for you, Virgo. Lots of pluses. So it's a happy horoscope for Virgo. Stay happy. All right. Greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. Oh, no. No, I'm just kidding. It was a false start there. Remember what I was saying last week about Cancer time, that a lot of times you get promotions as a Libra. This puts you in the public eye more. And so your best talents and skills also need to be seen, they need to be recognized, they need to be used. Now, Venus going through Gemini, it's not a bad sign for Libra. It's, you know, I mean, the ninth house isn't all about lovey-dovey, but it could be about like a long, a distance relationship, you know. And you know, one of the beautiful things about distance relationships is that you can't see the person that much, and so you can imagine all these things. And your imagination is really, that's what makes good lovemaking, really, in a lot of ways. It's just imagining things. It's also being present with the person, not to forget that. But it's also about, oh, well, this would be fun, this would be different. I was thinking, let's try this, you know, trying something different. The world of art, multicultural art, you know, I think of some of the works of Paul Simon and Ry Cooder, where they kind of integrated with another culture with their music style, and it was beautiful. They just did some amazing things. I'm thinking in Ry Cooder's Chavez Ravine tribute to what was a barrio in LA that turned into Dodger Stadium and displaced a bunch of people. He just did this passionate, beautiful album dedicated to that experience that took place in the late 50s, early 60s. And of course, Graceland, Paul Simon, I mean, that's just like an amazing piece of work too. And so this is an opportunity for you to kind of maybe take something from other cultures. And one of the things I heard as far as like a path of enlightenment is honor your own tradition, what you've been taught, find the good in it, embrace it. A tradition that you already admire that may not be yours, learn about it and embrace it. Find a tradition that's a little bit like abhorrent to you, like something that you don't want to do really, or you don't understand them. Learn about them and find something to love. And when you're in that place, this is how enlightenment happens. All right. Greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Cancer Sun, ninth house, travel, adventure, higher education, foreign cultures, meeting your guru, meeting your teacher, honoring your father, the good qualities that your father gave you. You know, this is part of your legacy. It helps you move forward. A lot of people's diminish the role in the modern contemporary world of fathers, partially due to social welfare and, you know, wanting to elevate women who'd been really oppressed under a patriarchal system, which I'll admit that. But we all need to move forward together, people. And I think one of the most disempowering things for women is not having a father that's helping them with their kids a lot of times, you know. And so if you're a gentleman that you have kids and maybe you're estranged from the mother, why don't you reconnect with that child, even if they're an adult child? Why don't you do something to bring an uplifting? And some of you have never had kids and never plan to. That's fine. You know, this will relate then to your own spiritual path and your own ability to learn things and to share with things that are people and things that are different than you, accepting them. There's a lot of good fortune in a ninth house transit. So Scorpio, this is a lucky time for you. This is a fortunate time for you. It's a great time for a vacation. Mars is in Aries right now. Good time to get physically more fit. You know, Jupiter expanding that too, so working on your health. I live in a hot area, but there is water still here, so swimming, that's my long-term goal for Cancer season, is get in the drink and get in better shape. All right. Greetings, Sagittarius, whose key phrase is I visualize or I see. So, I talked a little bit, you know, about Cancer last week. Cancer rules your 8th house. And 8th house is a house of transformation. It's the house of other people's property, occult studies, so things like astrology, tarot, palm reading, the I Ching, all of these, the Tao Te Ching, all of these things are about the 8th house. It's also about death, life after death. It's also a place where you can really develop your intuition and your sensitivity. It's not an easy house, you know. It's a Dastana house, you know. That's what we call them in Vedic astrology. The Dastana houses are the 6th, the 8th, and the 12th. And they're just more difficult to negotiate. So it's like the thing is just, the great thing about astrology is it gives you a chance to prepare. Hey, this may not be as easy. Hey, I may not be able to be in the spotlight. I may need to relinquish responsibilities to other people. There is a special gift in the 8th house that I've noticed. People do really good at yard sales, underground economies, and getting other people to help you. You need help? 8th house, they will come to your rescue and aid. Think about that. So allowing yourself to be okay with your vulnerability. You know, when you ask other people for help, I mean, unless you're doing it all the time, you know, that's kind of draining on people. But if you're not, if you're kind of a proud person, I never like to ask for help. Look, you're actually helping those people have good karma by helping you. All right. Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome your horoscope. Now, when Pluto's transiting your first house like it has been forever, you get a lot of insights. You get a lot of hits about what's going on in the world. I think Neptune, too, is going retrograde this week. I think actually on Saturday. I didn't really talk about that much. That's in your third house. So one thing I would say with that is making communication clear, getting the hard copy, actually adjusting yourself to writing things down, getting things done in writing. I think that way too much time in our modern world is spent on computers and in the electric world, and there's some nefarious things that go on with that. And how would I compare that into times in history? I would say like there was leaded goblets, cups that people were drinking out of in England, and it actually caused brain damage. There was felting and lead, and people were going crazy. Like you see the Mad Hatter in Lewis Carroll's story of Alice in Wonderland. There was a reason for that. They had dealt with, some of the felters were working with lead, and it made people's health go down. And it was technology. Hats are good, they keep you warm, you know. Goblets are good, it's good to have something that you could put your water in. But there was something leaking out that was bad, and there's something leaking out from electronic, magnetic things that are just, it's not good for, yes, the EMFs, thank you. EMFs they can affect us. We're really sensitive people. And because of capitalism, if something makes capital, we're told to deny the negative effects of something. Chemical agriculture, for instance, petrochemical farming. It's bad, okay? Roundup is bad. Glyphosates are bad. They're destroying our testosterone. They're really hurting us as a people. And when I see people using this stuff still, when the knowledge is out there, just do some research on it, it breaks my heart. But it's just corporate power. And it's a power, it's amazing to me that because you're big and you're a bully in economics, you're able to do harmful things to the public. That's wrong. We have to change this, folks. We need that David who's going to take down Goliath when it comes to these genetically modified seeds and all this frankenfood, this form of agriculture that could lead to destruction. So many things. So I want you, Capricorn, to help with that. Let's make the earth good again. And I'm looking at this Venus and Mercury transiting your sixth house, and I'm thinking you're able to do a lot of good right now and helping others. And there is, the moon starts really nice today, Friday and Saturday, in your fifth house. So you're in your heart. You're motivated to do good things. You're earth sign. You want the world to be a practical, safer, better place for all of us. Put out your best works and partner up with people that want to do that thing too, because that's why Cancer's in your seventh house. Okay, greetings Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So working hard, that's what Cancer is. It's sixth house, and sometimes there's obstacles in the sixth house. Like I said, it's one of the Dhisthana houses. Health issues, allergies or things that are not as easy to take, they can come up during this time. Chronic fatigue, a lot of times sun's up early, you're working hard, you get up early, you do a bunch of things, you stay up late, sun doesn't go down until almost 9 o'clock. I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's a long day, it's a long schedule here. If you live up in British Columbia, or you're in the British Isles, it's even a longer day, and so there's a lot to take care of. And so you're working a lot on your inner life right now. From what I see, this is where all the planets are grabbing your energy. But the nice part is Venus and Mercury in the 5th house. Oh my gosh, what a creative opportunity for Aquarians. Like, you're feeling more creative. You could be writing songs, painting pictures, doing some three-dimensional artwork with wood or with ceramics. So there's this just flush of great new ideas. Mars is actually in your 3rd house right now. That's a Karaka. That means that's a good house for Mars. So Mars is going to help you. You've got the energy, you've got the power, you've got the knowledge. Go out there and do it. Go get them. Greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. Like I said, Cancer's in your 5th house. It's a happy time. It's a time to focus on children, creative projects, and your own ability to get things done. And I think, like with this new moon, you're going to feel, if you've been in a drought creatively, something is about to activate in your life. And I think it's going to carry on through most of the summer, where you're going to be able to make things happen again. And that's pretty clear. We've got Saturn, is retrograde right now in the 12th house, but you know that Saturn does better retrograde, and Saturn does really good in the 12th house. A lot of the two malefic planets, as well as the north and south nodes, they actually do better in the Dastana houses. So I expect you, they say this is the Karaka for Saturn. So any long-term goals or things that have been hard and difficult to work with, if you work with them right now, you're going to be rewarded. Just be consistent and align yourself with other people that have had to do some really difficult things and overcome obstacles. Just being in the presence of great souls like that, some of that energy comes off on you, and you want to receive that. You want to know that. You want to have a better time. I'd say be cautious about being too hasty with your words, because a lot of times when Mars is going through the 2nd house, we can say things really harshly, and we don't want to do that right now. We want our communication to be chill, and Mercury and Venus in the 4th house, it seems like if you've got things of value you don't need, you could sell them, probably make some good money, and do well with that. And take a look at the people you hang out with, and maybe it's time for a change if they're not motivating your most high self. And with that, I just want to close and just do a little wrap up, just to remind you that we've got a new moon this week for all signs in Barani. As far as the Vedic lunar mansion, that's in Aries, but it's in Taurus in the Western zodiac, and that's a special new moon. Where I have a sense that good things are happening. There's going to be a real healing taking place on the planet. Please join your hearts and minds in prayer as we go to this new moon this week, that we create the kind of world we want to live in. And with that, I just want to close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Tat Sat.